Hey there, it's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. Super Bowl, Super Bowl. You know what that means? Lots of food, and I'll have a stomach ache after. Wings, pizza, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I'm not wearing a Patriots jersey because my favorite quarterback of all time died. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just let me get through this work thing. I always give you one tidbit of something I went through in my past week. So, I went up to this older lady and her daughter, and I was asking him this, and I just want you to know, I start out asking about home improvement projects. This is what it turns into after maybe 30 seconds. She was just talking about how bad the economy is. And then she whispered to me she was a domestic terrorist. She couldn't have been a day under 85. A domestic terrorist? I think we got to recruit them younger. Yeah, I don't know. People are either I run into, there's no middle. Either I run into people, and I had another woman screaming, "You're stupid! You're stupid!" because of yelling about Alien Omar, like how she's rich. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the economy in Massachusetts? I'm dumb. Okay. I just have to just walk away because I'm working and I can't strangle people at work. So I'm wearing number 9. You see number 9 autograph behind me. He was my favorite quarterback. Hall of Famer Sonny Jurgensen passed away. He was old, like 91. So he was Christian Adolf. Wow. Jurgensen the third. I mean, okay, Sonny. They called him Sonny. So a lot of people, I say he's the best quarterback that never won a Super Bowl. And people will say Dan Marino is. Well, I think those are the people that didn't go back far enough because I'm old. Obviously, you guys know this. So Dan Marino, to me, had a great quick release, but he wasn't the greatest. And you know, he went to the Super Bowl and could have won it, right? He went his sophomore year with Miami against Joe Montana. And guess what? Joe Montana made him look pretty bad. So yeah, Sonny Jurgensen is regarded as the best pure passer that the NFL has ever seen. So let me just go back and show you. Vince Lombardi, he came out of retirement after he left the Packers to coach the Redskins and said about Sonny, because George Allen didn't like him, because George Allen was a control freak. So Vince Lombardi said this about Sonny: he's the best in the league, the best I ever saw, and maybe the best of all time. Well, he didn't know Brady was coming, but, you know, I agree. He was something like, excuse me, back then, when he played, they had a horrible offensive line. And this is funny because he goes, all I ask for my offensive linemen, my blockers, is 4 seconds. You know how much 4 seconds is now? Like Brady used to throw it, I think it's 2 seconds now, right? It's like half the time because they're so fast getting to the quarterback. But he was drafted by the Eagles, and this is why I don't like the Eagles to this day. They traded him for Norm Snead. Anybody know who that is? Yeah, I've heard of him, but he's terrible. Anyway, he actually has a record in Philly, and he passed for 32 touchdowns that stood until he tied, I think, Johnny Unitas' record. Stood until 2017 when Carson Wentz broke it. That's how good he was. And then he got traded to the Skins. All right, let me just go. Let me go. 11 years with Washington. Led the league in passing yards, 66,000. I'm sorry, 1966, 67, 69. I was a little toddler. I was 4 by 69. Passing touchdowns, he led in 1967. Completion percentage, 1970. I can kind of remember then, 1970, because I was 5. Retired in 74. 2,433 completions. 32,224 passing yards, 255 touchdowns. He had 5 3,000 yard seasons. Okay, so that's pretty good back in the 60s and early, because everybody was running back then, right? And what his receiver said, this is what is cool. And if you watch anything on Sonny, he could throw the ball behind his back, spiral 20 yards down the field. I've never even seen that before. That doesn't make him the best. But like receivers talking about him would say he knows where to throw the ball, where the receivers become open. Like he anticipated where the receiver was going to go, which is pretty amazing. Tom Brady has unfollowed the Patriots, okay? He's nuts. He's so jealous about Drake May today. Um, he also said he's not rooting for the Patriots, so everybody came back at him, and I would too. He played how many years with the Patriots? Was it 20, 18? I don't even know. 6 Super Bowls with him, but you're not rooting for him? Aren't you always a Patriot? There's a statue of you, for crying out loud. He's such a small, I don't know. This is why I don't like him personally. When I do separate it, he's the best quarterback that I've ever seen in my life. I think he's jealous because Drake's got the spotlight on him. He could be the youngest quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl. I think Seattle's going to win. I'm going to say that. So he didn't vote for him for MVP. You can say that's okay because Matthew Stafford did deserve. He did have better stats. He did have a better stars like Puka Nakua and, other players that were, the Patriots are young and they all performed exceeding expectations. I think Drake May was the MVP, but you can argue that. But I think, Tom Brady's like thinking, oh, he could be the youngest quarterback. He could do something I never did. And I think he's very jealous. He's very competitive, and I know what that's like because I'm crazy too. Mike Vrabel did win Coach of the Year. He deserved it totally. So he said on his Let's Go podcast, he's remaining impartial. No, this is what a phony says. He could at least say, no, I don't like that I'm not on the team, and I'm not there. I'm not quarterbacking. He said, quote, I don't have a dog in this fight. We did it for 20 years, so now he's talking about himself. Yes, you were great. But, acknowledge. I remember when he ran Jimmy Garoppolo out of New England, going to Kraft's office and telling him, I got this. He couldn't take competition. And that does make you better. Let me tell you, because I go through that at work. You get mad. Someone's winning sometimes, and but it does make you a better player. Look at the great tennis rivalries, like Nadal, Federer, Novak, and Martina Navratilova, Chris Everett, McEnroe, all that. It does make you better, but he just can't. He's so fake. He's so fake. And then I guess let me just say this because he's not broadcasting today. It's on 22. It's on NBC. Former Patriot Vince Wilfork called his comments bull crap. They know he's fake. He's such a phony. No sense of loyalty to your team. If you're a Patriot for life, buddy. So Vince said this on Super Bowl 60 Radio Row. Asante Samuel, remember him? Posted he was, quote, disappointed in him for not rooting for his teammate Vrabel even, because he played with Vrabel. Okay. So then Brady came back and said, to Kraft. He said, oh, no, add another one so we can match. It always comes back to him. A little bit of narcissism. A little bit. On the Not Gonna Lie podcast, Travis Kelce blamed Taylor's sourdough bread for him breaking a chair and said he's gaining weight and he's blaming her sourdough. He said, quote, I'm not going to lie. I broke Taylor's chair with the weight I've gained from her sourdough. They're so cute. New uncovered surveillance. Oh, boy. On the night that Epstein killed himself. So I don't know if he killed. Whatever, because it's getting crazy. There's an orange-covered figure moving up the stairs. Okay, who's orange that we know? I'm not saying it was him. It could have been an inmate, but I only know one orange person that's in, society right now. So Epstein wrote himself. This is not verified. I hate even saying stuff like this. Bill Gates, I think I might have heard this on Bill Maher. Bill Gates was worried he contracted a STD from one of the Russian girls that Epstein pimped out. And he wanted an antibiotic to slip into Melinda's coffee. Oh, okay. Remember when I said I don't want to be gay and I want to be with a man? Okay, no. I changed that. Can I reverse? I'm changing my mind like a woman. Yeah, the STD thing doesn't turn me on. And if men are going to go out and be hookers or, they want to be with them, I don't want any crabs crawling off me. Anyway, NDTV, French guy stuck a World War I bomb up his ass. Of course, I got this from Bill Maher. Yes. Unbelievable. The hospital was evacuated. There's a man with a bomb. You know what? I got to tell you something. I have a friend who's, he was a doctor in the ER, and he told me stuff like this, where a man would come in repeatedly, and my friend had to pull it out of his ass. You're gay. You're gay, you're gay, you're gay. You want a man going up there pulling bombs out or pulling whatever you put up there? Admit it, these weirdos. Turning Point USA halftime. They don't want Bad Bunny, so they got their own alternative. Kid Rock, really, guys? That's what you're putting up? Listen, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I don't speak Spanish. I took it in school. I can't follow it. It's too quick when they're singing it. He's cute. He won all these Grammys. We're going to talk about the Grammys. But I think I'd rather watch him than Kid Rock. Are you kidding me or what? I don't. He seems nice, but he's Ice Out. Okay, Grammys. Sabrina Carpenter opened it up. She does look like John Benet Ramsey. She sounds like Dolly Parton, but looks like John Benet Ramsey. She doesn't look older than 8 years old. I like her as a performer. She didn't win. She was nominated for like 6 awards. Nothing. Justin Bieber came out and performed in his underwear. Everybody was talking about it. My mother was appalled. I said, Ma, it was raw. Like, that was a raw performance. And he performed Yukon. And if you look at the song, the video, it sounds like a baby singing. It didn't sound like him. But she goes, he looks like he's on drugs. He was, but that's not it. He had Lyme disease, right? He had that facial paralysis. What else happened to him? He has chronic mono. So, yeah, maybe that's why he's not looking so. He's still cute. My mother actually watched it twice. I go, Ma, go back and watch it. It was a good performance. Actually, arguably, it might have been the best of the Grammys. I liked it, and I liked the Grammy performance better than the studio version. But he was talking about obviously going and having sex with his wife, and they kept showing her, and she was smiling. Lady Gaga, and what the hell was she wearing with that lampshade on her head? Tentacles coming out. I don't get it. She contorts and looks like she's having a seizure. I'm not really. I think she's great, but I'm not really. Okay. Taylor Swift shut out because she missed the deadline. Next year she'll take over the Grammys. Of course she will with The Life of a Showgirl. You know it. Elizabeth Taylor. You know she will. Somber. I love that song, 12 to 12. He is weird, but he didn't win. It went and Cat's Eye didn't win. I thought Cat's Eye did really good performing. The lady who won, and I can't even remember. My mother loved her. She reminded me of like a Sade, but Jelly Roll won Best Contemporary Art Album. Gave thanks to Jesus, as a lot of them do. Screamed like an evangelist and said he would have committed suicide had it not been for his wife. Okay. Actress Tiana from the movie One Battle After Another, and I just watched that. Why did Leonardo DiCaprio not win? He played a pothead, like revolutionary. It had to do with immigration and all that. It was pretty interesting. Anyway, let's get off the subject here. So she had half an outfit on. It looked like she was being sexually assaulted and the guy couldn't finish. And she had to go out on the Grammys. Billie Eilish, or as I like to call her, William Eyelash from Saturday Night Live, won Song of the Year. I never even heard it. She said no one's an alien on stolen land. And I don't know. We'll all have to give back our land. And a lot of land that people get, like countries, are on stolen land. That's what they do. They fight. I'm not agreeing with it. I think what's happened to the Indians, the American Indian is, can I say it right? I'm sorry, I'm old. Native American. I thought it was terrible. We shouldn't have done it. But like, I didn't do it. And I don't really want to give up I don't want to be homeless. It's 0 out. 0 degrees. I am not going outside. I'm telling you. So one song that was up for record of the year or song of the year. I don't know what the difference is between record and song. But anyway, Anxiety. I'll tell you what. That should have won song of the year. Aren't we all anxious? Tyler, the Creator. He was talking about, you know what? He talked about like sugar on my tongue. We know what he's talking about. Ozzy, the tribute to Ozzy was cool. They showed his family / Post Malone singing War Pigs. I thought that was pretty cool. Cher. What the heck was Cher doing? The Lifetime Achievement Award. Kendrick Lamar won, and did she say Luther Vandross? Woo! Okay. Don Sidious threatening on Truth Social to sick his lawyers on Trevor Noah for talking about Trump and Epstein Island. And, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, like what you say, because he likes to sue people. He said the Grammys were unwatchable. I like the first half better than the second half. They have a right to get political. I probably wouldn't because, like Bill Maher says, they don't really know what they're talking about. He said, it looks like, quote, it looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to give this poor, pathetic, talentless dope. of an MC and suing him for plenty of money. Ask little George Stephanopoulos. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun. He actually gets into like creating anger, chaos, miserability. He loves it. Okay, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, real quick before I leave. Amanda has quit the show. I don't like her anyway. Halfway through filming, she couldn't take the heat. You really, due to the drama. I'm sorry, due to the drama. Why did you join? Did you not watch Beverly Hills Housewives? Do you not know every time they're drinking or having dinner, they throw things at each other? And guys, really, you don't watch the show. You don't realize it's high drama. You better take some pills because you're gonna need it. Women are vicious. Okay, so while Amanda and Dorit were going at it at the dinner table, Jennifer Tilly couldn't hear the fighting. So she asked if they could talk louder. She's the best. And then she picked up her chair and moved it towards the fight. They hashed it out. Dorit felt judged. Amanda felt accosted. And she drew Kyle into it. Kyle, Dorit's strong words about PK will get back to him. That's what she was saying. Remember, Kyle's not speaking to Dorit right now. They're friends, but I'm sure they'll make up. Dorit went into attack mode. She's the best at really abuse. And Erica's pretty good, too. Erica's good. I wish them two would go at it because they're pretty good fighting. Kyle couldn't speak because, once Dorit starts talking, she doesn't let anyone talk. Rachel Zoe jumped in, defended Dorit. She's also going through a divorce, and she said, we all can't act a certain way. We need to vent. Being authentic with your friends is important. And then Dorit and Kyle continued fighting. Kyle said, quote, you need to calm down. You're being too loud. Dorit said, you're being like Sutton. Oh, when she said, you live on a main road and my wallet's bigger than yours. You're not mad at me. You're mad at your damn life. I'm not mad at you, Helga. I'm mad at the dirt. Mommy dearest. And then Dorit zipped her lips shut. And she was like, can I talk now? Can I talk? Like that. And Kyle goes, grow up, Dorit. And Dorit goes, no, you shut up. Well, this is great. This is like high school stuff. I love it. Then Erica chimed in. And Bose and Amanda were next. Bose says you can't be... See, Bose stays out a lot. But then she comes in. And she's very intelligent. And she's calm. The way she delivers her zing. So you can't be in charge of how people respond to you. Amanda's like, you don't get boundaries on how, you don't set boundaries on what you're going to tolerate from somebody. And Bo said, how do I enforce that? Amanda says, I've never left a dinner party crying in my 40 years on this planet. And Dorit, quote, I thought you ran away from a cult. She's so good at this. She's so good. Amanda said, I did. Dorit, kick to the groin. Erica, she said, Dorit, don't. It's just hysterical. And then Amanda says, what's this got to do with anything? To producers, she's scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, and then Tilly, she's great. She's adds so much to this season. She says, what, a cult? What kind? I don't know. Are there different kinds of cults? Isn't it like religious? That's what I think of cults. Well, Trump's cult isn't religious. Rachel left the table crying. Dorit and Bose went after her. Then they brought out the birthday cake. Can you believe this? The two men with Dorit and Erica's birthday cake. And I think Jennifer Tilly's like, no, go away. Go back into the kitchen. Mauricio starting to DJ. Oh, how old is he now? Like 50-something years old. He's starting now. I started when I was like 18 or in my 20s. Well, that's actually cool. I love that. Like, it's easier now. Okay. Dorit called Kyle a fake friend. Yeah. It ends with Dorit, Rachel, and Sutton talking about Amanda. And Sutton's like, a cult is not a good thing. Dorit, she's not who she says she is. Rachel, it's going to come out. So they're all, woo. That's the deal. All right, let's get to Trump before I get out of here. Trump shared a video on Truth Social. Okay, we all know this with the Obamas being apes. I don't know if he does it to like get on the news and have people like David Muir talk about this and have a straight face, because I couldn't. This is why I'm not a newscaster, because I can't speak to you about depicting Obamas as apes and they were saying they had the king of the in the jungle, the mighty jungle, and they were Caroline Levitt was saying, "Oh no, that's from the Lion King," which had no apes in it. Sorry, it didn't work, so they had to like think of something else. Oh, it was a staffer. It was a staffer that did it. So when you're getting a job for Trump, do they say you got to be racist to join? Do you not know that these people, if they do it and they tweet, that this is what they think like? I mean, they were like, fake outrage. That's what they, oh, really? Fake outrage? Like you're not supposed to be outraged at depicting? That's like when Bill Maher said, prove your mother was an orangutan to Trump. And he sued Bill Maher for that. Prove your mother isn't orangutan? Like Bill Maher was serious that Trump came out of an orangutan's vagina? I don't think so. Hakeem Jeffrey said, F you, Donald Trump. Can you imagine? I can't believe it that he's talking like that. That's the speaker. That's, well, the minority leader. Unbelievable. Okay. I think another reason why God had women carry the babies, a drunk guy, I think he must have been from Florida. I'm just guessing. He got stopped, right? And he had his kids in the trunk. How many of them? I don't even know. Like a couple of them? Why are you putting your kids in the trunk? Maybe because they were loud? Men can't deal with this stuff. Child abuse. Drunk. You're drunk and you're charged with child abuse. A jury in Arizona found Uber liable for like sexual assault. A woman was sexually assaulted in 2023 in the back seat. This is why if I ever take that, I have a woman driver. So if I get sexually assaulted, better for me. I won't do it. And I'm not saying all men are rapists. I'm just saying, wow, $8.5 million. So that's going to open up a lot of things with employers now, because they're saying they argued. Well, of course, Uber argued, we can't be responsible. They're basically, they're working for themselves, like 1099 they give them. But the lawyers for the woman who was sexually assaulted said, well, when people get in your car, we have the reasonable assumption that we're safe, which ding, ding. Jill Biden's husband, ex-husband, not Joe, was arrested and charged with murder. No wonder she divorced him. Accused of killing his current wife, like Drew Peterson. Okay, here we go. Don Sidious just said on Dan Bongino's show, quote, the Republicans should say, we want to take over. This is the elections. We should take over the voting in at least 15 states. Let me guess, he lost those states. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting. Get ready. We all know this is happening. It's really not really rocket science. According to Politico, the FBI invited chief election officials to meet to talk about preparing for the midterms and how he's going to cheat. An election chief got an invite and showed it to Politico. Here it comes. Here comes the cheat. In Minnesota, intensive care nurses didn't believe ICE when they said a Mexican immigrant, this is ABC News, quote, purposefully ran headfirst into a brick wall. Oh, yeah, I do that. Like, I'm going to do that when I get off here. According to court documents, Alberto Castaneda, he had fractures and bleeding in his brain. The explanation, they said, was, quote, laughable. According to the Associated Press, of course, the nurses are speaking anonymously because they don't want to get arrested. The doctor told the Associated Press, said his injuries were inconsistent with an accidental fall or running into a wall. Really? We have to, yeah, no kidding. I'm not a doctor, but I kind of know they were kind of, we know who they are, some of them. ICE insisted he had his ankle shackled to his bed. Yeah, he's going to do it again because they thought he would fly away. The guy didn't know what year it was, how he was injured, and that's a TBI. That's what they were saying. Your impulse is to get out of there. Okay. So the GOP Trump want to make it harder for Americans to vote. No driver's license is not enough. They want a passport, birth certificate. I've got all that, but like, really, do I have to go there with the voting and get my birth certificate? I'll give you my license. I think that's okay. But I think Mike Lee, Mike Lee is nuts, the Republican from Utah. It's that's what he's doing. The SAVE Act. The SAVE Act, really? Save us from democracy? Ugh. He wants to get rid of the filibuster. Trump does. Be careful what you wish for. You're not always going to be in charge or alive. I mean, you're kind of old, so let's see. This is what Trump is doing to the mental health of this country. ABC. This is, I got it from a judge in St. Paul, Jerry Blackwell. The DHS has wrongfully detained migrants and violated court orders to release them. The U.S. Attorney Julie Lay trying to get ICE to comply with court orders is like, quote, pulling teeth. Quote, what do you want me to do? The system sucks. This job sucks. She said, I wish you would just hold me in contempt, Your Honor, so I could have full 24 hours to sleep. She'd rather be in jail than dealing with Trump's chaos. Okay. One more thing. So nude photos published of the women, the survivors in the Epstein case. Oops, sorry. We didn't redact those, but we were able to redact all the men that were guilty, all the rich men. I mean, it was accidentally released on the website. Great job, DOJ. You're wonderful. Alex Preddy's death was ruled a homicide. Same with Renee Good. Samantha Guthrie's mother. I am so devastated. I don't know these people. I can't imagine my mother being abducted, but all this time, and really they have no clues. Did you see the cop, the sheriff? That makes me scared. I don't really want to go to Arizona. Too far, too many cactus. I don't think so. No neighbor saw anything. No. Sometimes it's not good to be far out in the woods. It's not. In the desert. This is so sad. I can't tell you. And I can't imagine what she's going through. And at this point, I'm not like the sheriff. Oh, she's alive. I'm a realist. I don't think she's alive. She's got the pacemaker. She needs meds. That'd be like me. I'm on meds too, and I'm not 84 years old. She has trouble getting around. There's blood on the front porch, on the front steps. I mean, no one's talking. Like, they don't ask for any money. There's fake people out there saying they want crypto. I mean, it's really sick. I got to tell you. All right. I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl. Seattle's going to win probably, unless the Patriots defense can go in and go after Darnold and make him make mistakes. Rest in peace, Sonny Jurgensen. We love you. See you next week, guys. Enjoy the Super Bowl.